Hey there guys, it's Tico here bringing you guys another video of Warframe. In this video we are going to talk about Rhino. I'm using Rhino Prime at the moment and I have him looking pretty sexy. Rhino is somewhat looked upon as a noob tube Warframe. He's really easy to use, really easy to pick up, and is ideally this first Warframe you're going to acquire in the game, being that you can get him in the second planet you unlock in the game whenever you first start. So Rhino is a starter Warframe somewhat. Really easy to use. Iron Skin makes him ideal for new players, as Iron Skin lets you survive a long time in battle. And because of that, though, he's looked upon as like a one-trick pony, I would like to call it. And Rhino is not a one-trick pony, but this is pretty much what the build is trying to accomplish. It's trying to make Rhino a Warframe that goes beyond just using Iron Skin and goes beyond just using the every now and then Rhino Stomp. So for the build, first up, we got a Rifle Amp. And this is a weird choice because most people decide to use steel charge for the aura for Rhino. I decide to use a rifle amp because I prefer using rifle amp because I prefer using my rifle, and my rifle I like to get as much damage out of it, and I only use my melee whenever enemies get up close. And that when I'm using warframes, I really don't try to get up close unless I'm doing it for a reason. So I usually try to kill from afar. So rifle lamp is ideally the one I want to use for my aura, but you can use steel shards, like I said. It depends a lot on your play style, but for me this is what works. Next up, we got Transient Fortitude at a rank 8. I will discuss a little bit later regarding the Transient Fortitude and the duration. Why Transient Fortitude right now at rank 7 for me is good, or at rank a max out 1, like at rank 10 Transient Fortitude along with a Prime Continuity is ideally the best use that you want to, ideally the best combination of mods you want to have. So at rank 8, 2 from the top, Transient Fortitude, very important, that or a maxed out one. Because ideally for this build, this is ideally the duration you want to have. You want to have the minus 22.5 duration or the minus 27.5 duration that you have if you had it maxed out. Next up, we got Fleeting Expertise, a minus 50% duration and plus 50% power efficiency. Very important. This is like a must-have. It's a rank 4, 1 from the top, Fleeting Expertise. I always tell people that they should have 1 maxed out Fleeting Expertise and 1 rank 4 because rank 4 one you can combine it along with a rank 4 Streamline for max efficiency without depleting your duration as little as possible. If you had it maxed out, you could save 1 or 2 points, but you would lose out of that extra 10% duration. And we want that extra 10% duration that this Fleeting Expertise gives us by being, instead of maxed out, being only rank 4. So like I said, now we got a Streamline of rank 4, 1 from the top, 25% efficiency combined with 50% efficiency of Fleeting Expertise. We got max efficiency, so all our powers cost 75% less energy. Next up, we got Prime Continuity. Now, Prime Continuity right now, Prime Continuity is at rank 9, 1 from the top. With a rank 9 Prime Continuity, at rank 4 Fleeting, and also at rank 8 Transient Fortitude, we get a minus 22.5 duration. For our duration is ideally 77% at the moment from the stats that we're looking at. If we get a maxed out Prime Continuity along with a maxed out Transient Fortitude, it will still remain a 77% power duration. You want to remain a 77% power duration for this build that I'm showing you because that's what I figured for this build that works best. So Prime Continuity maxed out along with a maxed out Transient Fortitude, or at rank 9 Prime Continuity along with a rank 8 Transient Fortitude will give you that 77% power duration. Next up, we got Stretch. And Stretch is a no-brainer, but Stretch gives us all the range that we can have. When doing Roar or when doing Rhino Stomp. Stretch is normal, 45% more range. You always want that. So the range is at 145% for these stats. Now we go to Redirection. We only have one mod to increase the stats for Rhino because Rhino has Iron Skin to protect him. And we already have Transient Fortitude to increase the efficiency of Iron Skin. Iron Skin max out gives us 1200 ferrite armor. If you have a rank 8 or a max out Transient Fortitude, you're going to get over 1500 ferrite armor every time you activate Iron Skin. A max out Redirection is really all you need. So next up, we go to the two augment mods that we are going to mainly be focusing on in this build. Iron Shrapnel and Piercing Roar. Now I want to explain a little bit how these two work because this build is to maximize the efficiency of these two mods ideally. Iron Shrapnel lets you detonate your Iron Skin, and whatever health it has left, inflicts as puncture damage to enemies around you. It has a range of about 9 meters, it seems. So pretty much what it does is you put on your Iron Skin, and then you can swipe down again, or you can deactivate your Iron Skin by clicking the same power button for Iron Skin, and it deactivates your Iron Skin and explodes it. It doesn't cost any energy to do that. So if you use 12.5 energy to activate Iron Skin, it doesn't cost you any energy to take it off, and it inflicts damage to all the enemies around you, depending on the amount of health left that the Iron Skin had. So if your Iron Skin had 1200 or 1500, for example, you activate it and detonate it right away, it's going to inflict 1200 to 1500 damage to all the enemies around you. That is puncture damage, of course, and it's going to have a very, very high chance to proc the enemies with punctures. Another cool thing about Iron Shrapnel is when you have Iron Shrapnel active, when you have your Iron Skin on, and you walk inside a nullifier field, the Iron Skin will explode inside the nullifier field. It will actually inflict damage to the nullifiers, to the nullifier crewmen. So that is also very important. You know, it allows our Iron Skin to not just automatically be taken away by the nullifier. It actually gets taken away and explodes, so it actually does inflict damage to them, and it can actually proc them as well. So a very good tool to use against nullifiers. Next up, we got Piercing Roar. Now, Piercing Roar, it's a mod for Roar. It's an augment mod from Roar. It gives us pretty much 25 meters around. All the enemies are gonna suffer from Puncture Proc. Again, Puncture Proc is gonna make the enemies fall down, and they're gonna have to get up after a couple seconds. So it gives us about a 3-second window in which all the enemies around you are gonna be knocked down. It doesn't seem to work all the time, but it works almost all the time. For whatever reason, it doesn't seem to work all the time. Some enemies apparently seem to resist knockdown, so ideally you want to think about that when using it. But pretty much what it does is allows us to have some form of crowd control when using Roar, and that's very important. Now we come to the part that I actually want to talk about when it comes to duration. When it comes to duration, we got Fleeting Expertise, Transient Fortitude, and Prime Continuity. That 77% power duration that we have there is so that Piercing Roar only has 11 seconds of duration, because Roar as a mod cannot be activated again once it's already active. So if, for example, you had like a 20-second Roar, you will have to wait 20 seconds to be able to activate Roar again and Puncture Proc all the enemies around you. For that reason, we got a 77% power duration, because Roar will only last 11 seconds, and every 11 seconds you can activate Roar again and Puncture Proc every enemy around you within 25 meters, or, like I said, since we have Stretch, that gives us an additional 45% to 25 meters. That's about 12 meters, so that's going to be 37 meters around you. Every enemy is going to get a Puncture Proc every 11 seconds, ideally. So that is the build. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you think of it. I think it works pretty well. This is ideally the build that I like using the most. It's the one I've been using for Rhino the most the last like month or two, ever since these two mods came out, of course. And it works quite well. It seems to take care of anything that comes your way. But yeah, leave me comments below. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you guys later. Thank you for watching.